Ladies and gentlemen, Zion Williamson was drafted #1 overall over John Morant and R.J. Barrett for a reason. And I'm here to tell you, he has all the pieces and everything in place to prove it this season. Ladies and gentlemen, Zion Williamson, he's about to leave a devastation path if he is healthy, because, like I said, there's been a lot of chirping going on. And we all know, like I stated before, this is a freak of nature. The athleticism is crazy. This is arguably, possibly, if healthy, the best young player coming out, for the next decade. You understand? This is could be the next LeBron James in New Orleans, ladies and gentlemen. And the tide in New Orleans, speaking of New Orleans, has completely changed. Zion Williamson, when he was drafted to New Orleans, it seemed to be a laughing stock. He didn't want to be there. It was a lot of chirping. You seen John Morant go to Memphis. It seemed like he was happily ever after. R.J. Barrett, the man, broke down in tears going to New York. It seemed like everybody was happy to be where they was located. You understand? Zion Williamson seemed to be crazy. He was the only one that looked like it was 1 foot in, 1 foot out. It seemed like it was a crazy situation with the president of basketball operations, David Griffin. But it seemed to be some type of something has happened where both sides have come to some type of compromise here, and it seemed to be a ceasefire where you don't really feel much heat coming. It seems to be positive vibes coming out of New Orleans. Zion Williamson in college, mind you, he played with R.J. Barrett. R.J. Barrett averaged 22 points per game, 7 rebounds and 4 assists, ladies and gentlemen. Zion Williamson himself in college in Duke, he put up 22 points himself, 8 rebounds and 2 assists. To start the whole entire NCAA that year, R.J. Barrett was the ranked number one out of all of them, including Zion Williamson. It wasn't until, starting of the season, you was able to see Zion firsthand for that tide to change. R.J. Barrett, was a monster. He still has all of those capabilities to be a top player in this league. It's just he got to put everything together. Zion Williamson seems to be more of a natural superstar. You understand? It comes with a little bit more ease, similar to what you see from John Morant, what he did at, he was crazy. He averaged 18 points per game, 6 rebounds, and 8 assists, and that's coming out of Murray State. So John Morant was definitely a monster. We're not going to sit up here and talk about that. He was crazy. It seemed to be right now that John Morant, consensus-wise, is head and shoulders over the best player in that class. But I'm gonna always have an asterisk next to that. You understand? Because we got to see Zion Williamson. #1 is this. I'm looking at Memphis. Yeah, they was the #3 seed or whatever. I forgot whatever the hell they was. Or it was #2 or 3, if I'm not mistaken. Is irrelevant. It doesn't matter, but they was a high seed. And they didn't, they was the 2nd seed, if I'm not mistaken. And what I'm saying is that the team is a little thin. I'm looking at New Orleans. I like New Orleans. They're a little bit more versatile. I think they have a little bit more talent than the Memphis Grizzlies. So I'm looking at a changing of the guard where Zion is coming in with the better basketball team. You see New York, they tasted playoff success while Zion Williamson was on the outs. You understand? Where he missed the postseason and he was watching his fellow Duke player, do his thing. You see what Cam Reddish did in Atlanta. Zion Williamson, he's seeing all this. It's his time now. Now you got, I believe he arguably possibly got the best coach out of all of them, in Willie Green. You got the best secondary option with you, who possibly is the #1 in Brandon Ingram, because there's no Brandon Ingram on Memphis or New York. So Zion or CJ, you understand? I think bottom line is a changing of the guard. Zion Williamson now has the best basketball team out of all the players right now, out of his top draft selections, including RJ and Ja. You understand? It's a changing of the guard. Before, New York was better than than New Orleans. Before, Memphis was better. Now it's not. It's over. New Orleans is better than both of those teams right now, and their direction and future is a little bit more clear than it is in New York. You see the hell that's taking place in New York City. They punted the draft. New York Knicks fans are disgusted all around the world. You know, New Orleans Pelicans fans are happy, and they know what's on the horizon. A healthy Zion Williamson, a man who, when healthy, he averaged 27 points per game, 61% from the field. You understand? That's deadly, 61% from the field. And this is a guy who was a little out of shape, well, I would say a whole lot out of shape compared to what's coming now. Ladies and gentlemen, Zion Williamson is in the best shape that we've ever going to see him in the NBA. You know, he's going into a contract. Zion about to get the bag, too. This is how all of Zion about to get the rookie max extension. You understand? And he's about to prove why he's worth every single red cent of that money. You understand? This is Zion Williamson. He's a phenom. He's a skywalker. You know, and Ja and RJ, they're great talents. I think they're great players, especially Ja, you know, but I think that if Zion is healthy, he's a better player than Ja Morant. You know, it's always going to be a rivalry between Ja and Zion. There's going to be comparisons, but you will see the Pelicans is going to go a lot further than Memphis this season. They are the better basketball team. I think they got the better coach. And the direction is a lot more clear. You know, you're looking at Jaren Jackson. He's a good player, but he ain't no CJ. He ain't no BI. You know, it get crazy. And it's interesting to see. Like, I can't wait to see Zion play with some of these guards that's on this team. You know, some of these young players that we seen this season that didn't get a chance to play with Zion. This is going to be spectacular, ladies and gentlemen. We all need to buckle up because we're in for a movie. You understand, with Zion Williamson when he returns. So I'm going to leave it at that. Zion Williamson, man, you know, he was drafted #1 overall, you understand, by the New Orleans Pelicans. And it was for a reason, you understand. And he done had some injuries. There was some horrible coaching, you know, that was in place, some bad decision-making. But all of that has been rectified. The situation in New Orleans is a lot more clear. You know, is a well-run organization from top to bottom right now. There's no more shitting on the Pelicans. Those days are over. That went out the door when they hired Willie Green. You have to put some respect on the Pelicans. And Zion Williamson will spearhead this shit. It's Flight Sports TV. We're getting up out of here. Take it easy.